In the heart of Washington, D.C., where power hides behind polished smiles and secrets sleep under marble walls, one man dared to speak the truth. His name was Mark Reed, an investigative journalist who lived by a single, unwavering belief: lies can build empires, but only truth can burn them down. Late one rain-swept night, Mark sat in his downtown office, a fortress of files, flickering screens, and the crushing weight of what he had just uncovered. This wasn't just another story. It was a billion-dollar defense scandal, a tangled web of powerful politicians, ruthless lobbyists, and blood money. On his computer, the words "Project Truth, Final Report" glowed softly, a beacon in the gloom. He was so close. Then, without warning, the screen went black. The sudden darkness was absolute. A moment later, his phone buzzed once, a sharp, intrusive vibration. A text from an unknown number. "Stop digging. Truth kills." He froze, the anonymous threat colder than the rain lashing against his window. For the first time in his long, storied career, Mark Reed felt a profound, chilling fear. Back at their quiet suburban home, his wife Emily waited, her anxiety a palpable presence in the room. When he finally walked through the door, she saw the exhaustion etched on his face. Her voice, usually so steady, trembled. "Mark, please, just stop this. These people, they don't forgive. Don't play by the rules." He managed a faint, tired smile, the kind that didn't quite reach his eyes. "If I stop, they win," he said softly. "And if they win, the truth dies along with all the people it was meant to protect." He leaned in, kissed her forehead, and walked back out into the stormy night. It was the last time she would ever see him alive. The next morning, the highway was slick with rain, shrouded in a thick, disorienting fog. Mark's car cut through the gray mist, a solitary vehicle on a lonely road. But he wasn't alone. In his rearview mirror, the dark shape of a black SUV emerged, following from a distance, a predator stalking its prey. Then, a sudden, blinding glare of headlights. The horrifying screech of twisting metal, the explosive shatter of glass, and then an all-encompassing silence. The news headlines were clinical, detached. Prominent investigative journalist Mark Reed dies in tragic car accident. The official story was neat, tidy, and utterly unbelievable. Emily knew better. Mark was the most careful driver she knew, meticulous and deliberate in everything he did. This was no accident. This was a message sent loud and clear. 2 agonizing weeks later, lost in a haze of grief, Emily began the heartbreaking task of clearing out his office. As she was packing away his favorite tweed coat, her fingers brushed against something small and hard sewn into the lining. She carefully picked at the threads and pulled out a tiny USB drive. A black piece of plastic with a simple white label, "If you're watching this, I'm gone." Her hand shook uncontrollably as she plugged it into his laptop. The screen flickered to life, and Mark's tired, courageous face filled the frame. He looked directly into the camera, his eyes seemingly looking right at her. "Emily, my love, if you found this, it means they got to me. Don't trust the police. Don't trust the official reports. Let them bury the truth with me. Finish what I started." Tears streamed down her face, a torrent of grief and a new steely resolve. He had given her a mission. He had trusted her to carry the torch, and she would not let him down. That very night, fueled by a righteous fury, Emily uploaded everything. Every document, every secret recording, every name on Mark's list. She hit send and unleashed a digital firestorm. Within hours, the internet exploded. The story went viral, a shockwave that rattled the foundations of power. News anchors, their voices a mixture of shock and outrage, shouted, "Massive government scandal exposed." From every television screen, protesters flooded the streets of cities across the country, their signs held high. And from the heart of the crowd, one phrase echoed again and again. A chant that became a national anthem: "Justice for Mark. Truth never dies." A month later, Emily stood by his grave under a somber gray sky. The world felt different now, changed by the truth he had died to protect. She placed the small USB drive, the key that had unlocked it all, on the cold granite tombstone. "You gave your life for the truth," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. Now the world finally knows." As she turned to leave, a familiar buzz sounded from her pocket. Her phone. She pulled it out, a strange premonition creeping over her. A new message. No name, no number. Just 5 chilling words. Project Truth, Part 2, uploaded. She froze, her heart pounding in her chest. Her eyes darted back to the silent grave. In that cold, quiet space, it felt as if he was still there watching, waiting, working. Because sometimes truth doesn't die, it just hides, waiting for someone brave enough to set it free. And as Emily looked at the message, she knew the fight was far from over. It had just begun. Thank you for watching this story unfold. If you believe in the power of truth and want to see more stories that matter, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Your support helps us keep digging. See you next time.